From the very beginning, we made our own PR media. We sent them in the line group where all the section heads were in to explain to them what is MIO. Next, we designed a gimmick, something that would make people question the idea. We wanted them to ask questions about it, about the character and the idea behind it, give them time to get used to it, and become more familiar with it. After the introduction, our aim turned to getting the section heads to realize the importance of MIO. Therefore, we designed a questionnaire that asked them about their physical well-being, illnesses, whether they smoke and drink, as well as their personal financial management. Before we distributed the questionnaire, we explained how this questionnaire will benefit them, but only if they gave us honest and complete answers. After, we asked them whether they think that if they surrounded themselves with people who are more mindful and tranquil, will they be able to work more efficiently? To which all of them said yes, and that was the start of the motivational process. Our team then spoke with them to find out whether or not they would be interested in continuing the MIO training. Luckily, our staff are well trained and already regularly visiting temples and listening to the Dharma sermons. Mindfulness was already ingrained in their daily lives. Our first training was very well received, and we had a lot of positive feedback. Those who participated went on to tell others about their positive experience, saying that it was different from just simply going to the temple, and that they were happy with how their training went. The second and third groups were also very satisfied. Now, when the word spread, the other staff who were queued started to become impatient and wanted to start the training sooner. With our training, we have to ensure that our instructors and staff are unbiased and don't have any objections towards one another. But when it comes to training, we need to be neutral. Instructors must always have a smile on their face, as they are representing the very core of MIO while conducting the training.
It takes all heart and soul to embed mindfulness in an organization. Likewise, it also takes time to run the production lines. The question is how to allocate time to provide training courses covering 100% of the staff and how to accept the terms of stopping the machine.
Initially, we planned that our daily shift staff start work at 7 a.m. and finish at 7 p.m., 12 hours on and 12 hours off. On training days, we reschedule their working hours, since the staff that work on the production line have different days for rest. Fortunately, we have a CEO who is very supportive, that even if it costs his business some delays, he feels it is important that the staff gains mindfulness, tranquility, and spirit. Before the MIO training, staff felt like the factory was more of a workplace, but now they see it as a place where they can meet with their friends. This change happened straight away and clearly too. Some of the younger staff who would usually never leave their department began after the training to be more friendly and more personable. One of them said that her colleague never had anything nice to say, but after returning from the training wasn't rude anymore.
I'm much happier now. Before I never socialized with my colleague. I just come to work and go home. Now we talk more with my colleagues.
Before, I never really felt comfortable asking my colleagues. I would always ask through my supervisor. But now I feel more comfortable talking to them. When one understands mindfulness, you can clearly see that they are calmer and less easily distracted. When their mind is calm, they tell stories in a more focused and orderly manner.
Start by focusing on a spot or the side, then stop there for 2 to 3 minutes. During this time, many will start to be distracted. You have to pull your mind back and refocus. That is mindfulness. It is like when you are given an order. If the order is to count the sacks, just count the sacks. If the order is to sort out the sacks, just sort out the sacks. Don't distract yourself by thinking of the time you will get off work or with things or information that is not relevant to what you are doing now. A good working environment, which is already hard to achieve, will be hard to sustain if there is no continuous development.
Continuation is very important. We know that if the staff came back and they do not continue practicing, it will not be sustainable. So we came up with a plan where we continue to communicate and evaluate the participants' behaviors. For quantitative and concrete results, we expect that the staff should reduce their bad habits, such as smoking, drinking, BMI level, obesity, and debt. These 5 issues are each individual's KPIs. Contemplation is one of my favorite words. Initially, the word contemplation seemed so outdated, but the more we use it, the more our staff begins to understand it. When they take out a cigarette, they contemplate about the consequences, and in doing so visualize their children's faces asking them not to smoke. Now they will look at the cigarette again and make a new decision whether to smoke it or not.
I tried many ways. I tried nicotine candies, but it didn't work. Now I tried stopping it with my own determination. I try to restrain my mind and not to stress myself out. I try to be mindful. Before training, I smoke a pack of cigarettes a day, but now I try to reduce my daily consumption by half a pack. My goal is to reduce the number gradually and finally stop smoking altogether. I try to train myself to be more patient and to contemplate and reason over things.
I don't have any savings. I have trouble saving. Like for New Year's, I wish I had some money to buy gifts for my mom. So I started to save little by little. I stopped buying things I didn't need. I decided to stop buying coffees in the morning. The same with buying snacks. Instead, I kept that money to buy gifts for her. Love Without Fatty Tummy is a project for those who are overweight. Kunut asked me to join the project. On the first day, I weighed 81 kilos. 3 months later, my weight is down to around 70 kilos. I feel more mindful of my goal. It helps control my emotions. I am more mindful about eating. When I go to 7-Eleven store, I look for nutritional information to see how many calories the product contains. Now I am more mindful about my health and about my future. My mother is also diabetic, and I don't want that to happen to me. We don't force them, and we won't force them to do anything. We just want their mindfulness to come from their hearts. That way, they will be determined and will achieve lasting results.
Another project, which is consistent with other projects, is about savings. Kun Glue can save 100 baht from abstaining from drinking. The money she used to buy alcohol is saved in the project. This is how the project support each other. The activities help promote mindfulness in the workplace. That includes mindfulness practice before meeting and creative discussion for sustainable development. But sometimes limitations in the factory are the root of the problem, and the reason why it is difficult to embed mindfulness within the organization.
The very first problem we ran into was how to install the mindful bell. Our factory is so noisy, so the mindful bell must ring louder than the machines. This is simply not possible, so we came up with a better idea. We put up the picture of our mascot instead. When they see the mascot, they are reminded what they've learned. Looking at it for 30 seconds make me think before forwarding my job to other colleagues. It helps me focus on my job, feeling my every breath. The bigger question is, can we go further? Can we introduce learning organization?
When we know that our mind is absent, then turn back to our low. Our low is to do the finger exercise like this. A sturdy man with a masculine face is playing a game with his fingers. This might put a smile on your face, charming and something you don't see often. But more importantly, this unexpected and simple finger game helps level up users' happiness and prosperity in the long run. In the beginning, no one knew how mindfulness was related to productivity and even to personal loss. I think that practicing mindfulness is as basic as meditation. And believe in being mindful, as I notice many absent-minded people often experience accidents or unfortunate incidents. I feel like I'm a more responsible person, as well as feeling more relaxed.
Our morning meeting is more effective. The problems that we address are now solved more easily. The staff does not ask for leave as often as before. Just tell us your problem, our teams are happy to help. My work is more efficient and effective. Although I have little work experience, my performance has improved. Last month, our biggest customer visited our factory to inspect his product. We noticed that he asked to take pictures, but he didn't take pictures of the factory or the machines, but instead took pictures of the MIO signboard. Just seeing that made me smile. When he came into the meeting room, he said that he visited many factories and observed that all of them were set to the same standard, but our factory had something different. That difference was that we value our staff. He said that he noticed that we introduced MIO into our factory, and that even with face masks on, he could see the happiness in the eyes of the employees. They were eager to work, which he said was different from the other factories. He could feel the happiness in our staff and was confident that his product would be of top quality.